Hi, I'm Dave. Has Tesla just declared an all-out price war against the expensive EV public chargers that will bring cheaper charging to all EV owners? It's a rapidly changing world out there for you EV drivers, so stick around as Dave takes it on. Elon Musk declared the mission of the company is to accelerate the transition to a sustainable future, and the goal of the supercharger network is to enable freedom of travel for Tesla owners at a fraction of the cost of conventional fuel. Reduce your cost per mile, never pay for petrol again. Now, I bought my Tesla Model S back in 2020, and back then I went down to Bristol. I paid 23 pence per kilowatt hour at Cribbs Causeway, which is a Tesla supercharger. That was on July the 20th, 2020. I revisited exactly the same charger on the 1st of May this year, 2024, and paid 25 pence. Although the cheapest rate was actually 22 pence, but that was overnight between midnight and 4 a.m. I wasn't getting up for that. With a massive hike in electricity prices we've seen over the last few years, that's an absolutely massive achievement. Yet Instavolt in that same time period has raised prices from 65 to 85. GridServe has gone from 69 to 79. So first we need to have a look at why others have raised prices and why Tesla has, adjusted for inflation, actually dropped them. More important, why this will cut the cost you will pay to charge your Tesla or non-Tesla EV wherever you charge. Well, in simple terms, the reason for price hikes in the non-Tesla public chargers is twofold. First, there's no competition. Competition drives down prices, lack of competition creates monopolies and raises prices. Look at the supermarkets, particularly the price of fuel, petrol and diesel. When they got into petrol, prices tumbled. Well, second, big, really massive sums of money, billions have been invested into EV public charging on the back of massive government subsidies and tax breaks, meaning EV charging is now seen as a superb investment, a financial investment, or should I say profit generator. The next golden goose. See, big private and corporate money always demands a big or preferably obscene return. No rich people invest in anything unless they can get really good profit. EV charging promised to offer that, and the money has poured in, billions of it. Tesla chargers are and always have been cheap, but were only available to Tesla drivers. They were not seen as a threat to that monopoly, the rest of the EV world that didn't have Tesla supercharging. So a combination of a massive green environmental movement and huge government subsidies and a growing EV market with all their competitors all trying to grab as much as they could out of this booming market made that investment really attractive, compelling, a veritable gold mine. That dream crashed 2 years ago, but most people haven't even spotted it yet. The IRA is the American Inflation Reduction Act over the States and was designed to kickstart the EV industry, create massive EV employment. It failed because mainly they had nowhere to charge out on the road. The network was rubbish, far from Tesla. The government then changed the IRA to include EV charging, and EV charging companies sprang up instantly. They grabbed the huge subsidies and grants on offer and in return installed some cheap and nasty chargers in cheap locations, very shoddily at exorbitant prices. Then they simply abandoned them to fail and fall into disrepair because nobody had thought to pay them to repair or maintain or service them. So they haven't bothered. Well, fearing a repeat of the fiasco, if they offered just even more money to repair these brand new failed chargers with the same people who installed them and had them fail, Tesla was offered equally obscene sums of money to open up their already successful, plentiful, reliable and cheap network to all EVs. Well, Tesla grabbed the money and the law of unintended consequences was silently, almost secretly launched. But that was over there. Here in the UK, we've got virtually no EV manufacturers. Yeah, there are a few, but some of them, they just assemble. But we did have EV chargers that charged an absolute fortune to use them. BP Pulse 85p, Shell Recharge 85, Instavolt 85, BE.EV. The list seemed endless, and most had broken or failed units at a time when the Tesla supercharger price was less than 30p off peak, only about 50p peak, and they all worked. But opening to all applied here too, and in 2022 Tesla began opening up some of their superchargers to non-Tesla EVs. In the last 18 months in the UK, Tesla has opened more than 60 new and existing superchargers to non-Tesla drivers, and many more are already in the pipeline. Those 60 supercharger locations had an average of around 12 charger bays each, so they represented a massive increase in EV rapid and ultra-rapid charging capacity, to say nothing of the reliability element. They simply worked. Well, initially the superchargers that opened were the remote ones, those not heavily used. Nobody seemed to notice where this would lead. Also key locations, Tesla kept the superchargers exclusively to Tesla drivers. Well, this channel did notice what was going on. I've been reporting on the coming EV charging price war for the best part of a year. Well, sooner or later, Tesla would run out of these remote locations and the quiet ones and open one up in a very popular area where another EV charging network was already operating or was already building a new charger. That happened this year at Frankly southbound services on the M5. GridServe has expanded their pitiful 2 dual bay electric highway 50 kilowatt chargers, which charge 79 pence a kilowatt hour. And Tesla built 12 brand new 250 kilowatt V4 chargers right opposite, 50 feet away. They opened them up to other EVs, but strangely they put the peak price at a simply massive 74 pence for non-Tesla drivers, non-members. Almost as if to say to GridServe, look, we're going to help you, we won't take all your customers yet, but you do need to drop your prices because we will one day. Tesla drivers, meanwhile, were almost penalised because they were being asked to pay 55 pence peak and a still hefty 44 pence off peak, when nearby you could pay less than 30p. On my last visit, the GridServe chargers were in use by one EV on the CCS2 and one on the CHAdeMO, and I believe that the CHAdeMO will be most welcome. Tesla chargers were quite busy, never full, typically 6 or 8 cars there most of the time I was filming. My prediction is the price of these will drop and in the very near future. So from just a single point of conflict, Tesla's now installed more than a dozen utterly key vital superchargers designed, or accidentally, specifically to take business away from other CPOs, these charge point operators. Well, look at Birmingham. BP Pulse struck a fantastic, massive deal with NEC to install around 150 fast 7 kilowatt chargers in the main car parks and 20 ultra rapid chargers in another. The fast chargers they price at 59p and the ultra rapid 85. So just literally a handful of miles away, 2 or 3, are 2 Tesla superchargers that cost 52p peak and 42p off peak without membership. Just turn up and charge. But members get that drop down to 42p peak and 33p off peak. That's almost half the cost of the BP Pulse fast chargers, 7 kilowatts, and almost a third of the cost of their ultra rapid chargers. Who on earth is going to pay 85 pence when you can go and charge for 33 pence? And some of my viewers, they are already switching. Got a message from one of them, Clive Thomas 6864. He says he's watched the videos, seen this, he's now using them regularly. Well done, Clive. We see then BP Pulse installed a massive, in their words, giga hub in Catrin. It's actually 10 chargers, 300 kilowatt dual bay, meaning 20 cars at 150 kilowatts, or just 10 at 300. Again, literally just a few miles away is Tesla supercharger, Barton Road, with 8 250 kilowatt V4 chargers. BP price is 85p. Tesla to non-Tesla members is 43p, almost exactly half price. BP is getting trounced and their chargers are almost all available. Just 2 out of those 20 being used. Tesla for Tesla owners or Tesla members, price is now down to 35p off peak. Wow. Or how about Gatwick Airport? GridServe has just opened the latest of its hubs. And they really are superb hubs. I really like them. But at Gatwick, GridServe has 20 out of 22 chargers available at 79p per kilowatt hour. Less than 2 miles away is the Tesla supercharger at County Oak with a mere 8 250 kilowatt chargers open to all, priced at 54p, 32p off peak to non-members. Just turn up. and a ridiculous 40p peak and 24 off-peak to members. Yeah. The list is growing literally day by day. Whenever someone builds a flagship hub or centre, sooner or later Tesla comes along and opens or builds a supercharger right next door. I do check availability on a regular basis and visit those that I can find, and find that all the other CPOs are now feeling the pinch. Nobody's using them anymore, apart from a strange few who do still use them. In one case, where there was a supercharger just 50 feet away, open to all. Well, that's a queer as folk. The pace is hotting up, the outcome is looking bleak for the major CPOs and really good for EV drivers. I'll keep checking for you. Well, thanks for watching. Once again, if you haven't, please subscribe. We are getting much closer to the 10,000 subscribers, and we do sometimes need a push or a kick just to get us there. So subscribing costs you nothing. If you haven't subscribed and you do watch us regularly, please click the subscribe button and notification icon so that we can notify you. And we're also so grateful to our Patreon members who make these videos possible. We're now working hard to get out and meet our members. We did an initial trip down to Bristol. We met up with Stephen, American, and with Rachael. Well done, nice for meeting you. We'll be keeping our members in touch of where and when we're going with our filming trips. See, we have a problem. A mass meet the viewers is hugely time consuming and disruptive to the filming. Meeting just a few members is actually quite fun, doesn't interfere with the filming. In fact, they can get involved in the filming if they want to. So you didn't make Bristol, many of you, so if you haven't made that one, please have patience. We will notify you of all the others as we go out filming, and you will get automatic invites to all of them. So we hope to see you at some of the future ones. And we're thinking one of the next ones is going to be fairly local to the northwest. So that's just a teaser for you. But we will be getting down back into the Essex area. And we still have the Scotland trip. It's on hold at the moment for a variety of reasons, mainly behind the scenes reasons. No problems, just things are changing slightly. So Scotland trip is still on. That'll be a couple of day trip, 2 or 3 day trip. We'll go up and we'll meet as many people as we can and visit as many places as we can and find out what Scotland is like from an EV charging point of view. I'm Dave.